All right, and welcome. So I'm super pumped. Today is the official release of
Complete Blues Guitar Volume 1.
Oh, I like it how there's a volume.
What does that
1.
mean?
Yeah, that there's volumes coming your way.
You're a smart guy. I knew this was a good friendship.
It's the coffee. So what I'm super pumped about is it is a foundational course. We're going to go over Texas Shuffle.
Chicago Blues.
Uh-huh.
Slow blues.
Chicago
Minor.
slow blues?
Yes, Chicago minorish type thing.
Dare I even say that there's a hint of Gary Moore in
It's
that?
a hint. It's a little sprinkle, if you will.
He's a Chicago blues guy from across the pond.
Who plugged into a Marshall.
Right.
Yeah, turned it way up.
Yeah, right? And then we got some funk, which is killer.
Yep.
Lots of different kind of chord inversions.
Lots of chord inversions. Some arpeggio work, dipping your toe into the arpeggio world.
Ooh,
yeah.
Toe. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Are you hinting at what's coming down the pike? Maybe.
Mayhaps.
All right.
But and there's a jump blues section as well.
What the hell is jump blues?
So it's like fast blues.
Oh, okay.
Which can be hard.
Crisscross, maybe you want to.
I got into an Uber the other day and that was on. It was
No!
amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, don't turn the station. Leave that on.
That's
Because I
amazing.
might be a blues guy, but I'm also a hip hop of the 90s fan as well.
Really?
Heck yeah, man. Come
Did
on.
not know
Makes you who
that.
you are. Yeah.
Can we get some like blues remix versions
That
of
could
your
be
stuff?
like a new. I mean, it's happening in country, so
How to
might as well.
sophisticate and modernize your blues.
Blues with
Volume
it.
4.
Yeah. Volume 19.
So anyways, make sure you check the links down below. We're going to give you a sampling of one of the course material videos,
right.
which is the Texas Shuffle, I
That's
believe.
right. We'll do a performance and lesson.
Okay, cool. And then we're going to give you the tabs and the jam track. And then when you click that link, you'll be notified of all the stuff. And also make sure you get on the mailing list too, because the mailing list people get the awesome pre-sale deals.
Special.
We're gonna hook you guys up too this once. All right. So thanks for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you next time.
Thanks so much.
Okay, so now we're really starting to have some fun here, adding in not only some new techniques, but we're pushing the envelope phrasing-wise and adding some stuff that you might not be used to seeing. Let's jump down to pentatonic number 1, but an octave up. And then also take a look at pattern 2 as well. Okay, and what we're going to do here is we're going to play this really sort of traditional double stop. We're playing a B and a D note here. And then what I do to kind of add another level of intensity to it is I'll add the G sharp there. And that's kind of like an open, almost like a D7 type shape, but you moved it way up here. And it's kind of implying it's basically an E7 chord at that point. But it adds for a really cool sort of next level transition. Then what I do there is I grab an E and a B, just the root and fifth. It's like a little baby power chord. Yeah. So those really add some intensity. Now, we want to go back to almost more of a major pentatonic idea. And we're going to, because that's my major pentatonic sound right there. And I really focus on, even though it's on the 4 chord, it kind of goes against some things that you may have tried or heard. But what we're really doing here is we're kind of bending from this F sharp. And we're focusing on that E note, but it works over the A chord because it's the 5th note in the degree, 5th degree of the A chord. And when you're toggling off of that C sharp a lot, that's the 3rd of A. So it all works. It's all very legal. The F sharp is the 6th, so you can just keep going on and on about the notes that really work in this A chord. Then I go back into pentatonic minor land, because I'm going to play A, G, and it's going to be sort of those little quarter step bendy ideas. Almost half step at this point. Now, for you perfectionists that really want to go there, you may or may not see me occasionally if I'm playing this kind of idea. I may go to the neck pickup. I may stay on the bridge, depending on it. Because it's always fun to talk a little bit about tone and that sort of thing, too. But I wanted an edgier sound, so getting a more of an aggressive bridge sound can be really helpful in this kind of idea. So there's that lick that we found and we were introduced to in the previous solo. Brought it back. And that's where we're going to bend from the E. And we go to that 1st string, and then that 2nd string mutes itself by falling into the 1st string. Remember that. Go back to that solo for more explanation. And that would qualify as a lick to me because that's just a repetitive idea over and over again. And it's straight up E minor pentatonic the whole way. Okay, so now we want to sort of put in a little bit of my fun jazz phrasing. You know, when I listen to a saxophone player, they would be playing these like shuffles or a swing, be playing these fast little phrases over top of it, or a shuffle like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and digga 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 digga. So those kinds of things would be rattling off, you know. So we want to harness that power a little bit. We don't want to go overboard with it, but we want to make, we want to put it in a part of the solo that's heightened and is going to make somebody go, whoa, I just thought I just heard some crazy stuff happening over there in the guitar land. I thought it was normal, some Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff that I've heard before, and it was pretty great, but then he played that, and it was like, wow, blew my mind, you know, really spun my head around. That's what we want to do every so often when we're playing a solo. We want to kind of stick to a nice sort of maybe sing-song quality, but then what we want to do is throw in this flurry. Okay, so quit jabbering, and explain this thing, Corey. So after we come out of this, so I'm going to go. One more time. Let's talk about how we're going to break that down. It's all chromatic. So it starts on the G note. That's your first part. Sorry, G, E. There we go. And that's sort of the key right there is I'll play that major third G sharp against that B. One more time. And when I approach that B note chromatically, A, B flat, B, because that's where the 5 chord's happening. And what I do there is now I play this little great thirds lick. I'll go this B and this E flat, or D sharp, A flat, C, A, C sharp. And what I do is I just walk that chromatically down. And what I'm doing is I'm outlining the chords there again. Now you could take it slow. You could phrase it sort of any way you want. But that straight 16th note over top of the shuffle really gives it that sort of outside feeling, like a jazz saxophonist might do. Coupled with that little major third idea. Then I'll go back to a double stop in pattern 1, and I'll kind of outline major and minor by going G to this C sharp here. And there's another great spot for a little walk down chromatic idea here. You can't really have enough of those turnaround licks, so it's nice to find them in little spots when you can. And then I approach the B note again chromatically. A, B flat, B. So you could take that rhythmic idea and kind of put that anywhere. You know, it's this flurry of straight 16th notes, but this is a good idea to kind of just get your toes in the water a little bit. It flows really nicely. It's in some scale areas that we're familiar with. You want to think about all those things as you embark on some new, more challenging phrasing ideas. Don't bring anything in maybe that's too harmonically challenged or too much of a finger twister. This is nice chromatic. It kind of falls in line. And it gives you that nice sort of chromatic walk down when you get to that third lick too. So we're always kind of coming back to what's tried and true. We're going to push the envelope a little bit and come back. So I thought a little taste of that in a solo might be good. So dig into that one and try to put them all together when you're ready. Okay, so we need a little bit more further explanation on the 16th notes and how they line up against the shuffle. So what would be best is if we just roll the track and I'll kind of play just a little muted scratch note against it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the feeling of it. Feeling it? So what you really want is a straight 16th note, which is going to be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 2, 3, 4, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. So the idea is that actually sounds sort of slightly out of place. Your ear's not ready for it. Your body's not certainly ready for it if you're just kind of playing 16th. But what I did in my example is I put a long chromatic line against it so it sounded really interesting. So when you do that and you kind of walk your way through the scales, it sounds like what a lot of people think is more outside playing when it's really not. It's more outside rhythmically than it is even harmonically. You'll hear players even like Joe Bonamassa do this. Really walk down a scale like that. And he'll probably end it a little bit better than I did. But if you take an idea like that, let's roll the track again, and then we'll really kind of hear one of those examples. Okay, so you can see that forcing that rhythm over top of those really gives you that sort of modern, progressive sort of blues phrasing. And again, like Joe Bonamassa is one of those players that really does that a lot. So much so that people think it's a different scale, and it's really not. It's just straight 16th notes over that shuffle. And you'll notice I play it with a hybrid picking style where I'll kind of go... and I'll play sort of like every other one. If I need to grab that string above it. That's sort of how I get the speed, but if you're playing with a pick, that's gonna be how you're gonna approach it as well. And we'll tab that out for you too, so you have just that idea, because that could be a really great pentatonic study in and of itself, just doing that over top of these blues changes. Again, we're cramming in a lot of stuff in here that is going to equip you like a toolbox to play not only any of these styles, but to use them in other styles as well. That's how I learned, and that's how I continue to learn and play today. So that's your crazy 16th note phrasing lesson for this example.